Welcome back to the Eternal Wrestling Podcast, and I'm your host, Jacob. For our main event tonight, we will see Kane taking on DDP Diamond Dallas Page in a Falls Count Anywhere match to finally end their feud. But before we get into the action, I'm going to give you a quick recap of last week. On last week's episode, the NWO, Hogan, Bronson Reed, and Braun Strowman came out and celebrated his cage match victory. Hogan went on to dismiss rivals Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and even went on to warn Undertaker that the NWO owns the night. The NWO's presence was felt immediately as Braun Strowman interfered in Macho Man versus Kevin Owens, their singles match, and Strowman's distraction allowed KO to nail the stunner and get the victory. In the main event of last week, the tag team titles were defended as Penta and Rey Mysterio successfully retained against the Young Bucks, who decided to enact the rematch clause. But this celebration was cut short, as Aleister Black and Brody King signaled that the Kings of the Black Throne are coming for the titles. In the Vanguard Championship picture, we see Damian Priest going after Seth Rollins and says that at the next pay-per-view, Rite of Passage is when he wants to face Seth, as he wants Seth to heal up and be 100%, so he has no excuses. We also see a streak coming to an end, as Eddie Kingston defeated RVD, Rob Van Dam, to finally get on the right track. After a dominant win by Drew McIntyre over Sandman, he was confronted by Randy Orton, and Orton is making it quite clear that despite their history here, that McIntyre is nothing but a roadblock on the way to the World Championship. Tension reached a breaking point for Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa after they accidentally collided in a tag team match against the Acclaimed, where the Acclaimed were able to capitalize and pick up the victory. After Kane went on a backstage rampage, destroying security, a locker room as well, Adam Pearce decided to book a Falls Count Anywhere match for this week. We had a surprising debut as Bam Bigelow decided to answer the open challenge of Rhythm and Blues Honky Tonk Man and Greg the Hammer Valentine, and he demolished both of them without breaking a sweat. Now, let's get on to this week's show. Welcome to Reckoning. We see in Arena, the crowd is excited for tonight's action, as we are on the path to the next pay-per-view, Rite of Passage. And some matches announced for tonight. Our main event, we will see Kane and DDP Falls Count Anywhere. We will see RVD taking on a mystery opponent. And we have Bronson Reed taking on Matt Hardy, as the NWO and the Hardys have been feuding these past couple weeks. And for our opening contest, Bam Bigelow is taking on Cactus Jack. So the bell doesn't even start here. And Cactus Jack, he meets Bam in the aisle with a trash can lid. And they start trading shots, lefts and rights, all the way into the ring. Bam, he shows off his legendary agility, hitting standing dropkick that sends Cactus through the ropes. And on the outside, Bam, he attempts a powerbomb onto the floor. But Cactus, he floats over and shoves Bigelow into the steel ring post. And since this match never really officially begins, weapons are soon introduced, as Cactus, he grabs a barbed wire wrapped 2x4 from under the ring, and as he swings, Bam, he catches him with a brutal enziguri. Eventually, they get back into the ring. Cactus, he decides to hit a double-arm DDT onto a steel chair. But before long, Bam Bigelow, he regains control with a series of headbutts that leave Cactus busted open with a crimson mask. And Bam, he climbs the turnbuckle and delivers a massive diving headbutt. And then he immediately follows up with a greetings from Asbury Park on top of a pile of chairs and weapons that have been used throughout the match. And he plants his foot on the chest of Cactus, signaling his dominance. On to segment 2. We see Kevin Owens, he's backstage. He's throwing stuff like his Fight Owens Fight shirt into his duffel bag. And Finn Balor walks in, holding a report about some potential tag team opponents. Finn says, "Hey Kev, I've been looking at some tape, and I think if we sharpen up some double teams, Lucha Bros don't stand Kevin Owens cuts him off. Stop. Just stop, Finn. Look at me. Do I look like a tag team specialist to you? I'm a prize fighter, and lately the only prizes we're chasing are scraps. I'm tired of sharing the spotlight, and I'm tired of watching Hogan hold my world title. Tagging with you has been fun, but I'm going my own way. Don't take it personally. Actually, do whatever you want. I'm out." Kevin Owens, he walks past stunned Finn Balor, even shoulder bumping into him on his way out of the locker room. Finn just shakes his head. On to segment 3. Bronson Reed is taking on Matt Hardy. So during the match, Matt Hardy, he's playing smart here, targeting the knees of Bronson Reed to bring the big man down. Eventually, he's able to hit a side effect on the apron that leaves both men gasping for air. Matt, he scales the ropes looking for the leg drop, trying to finish this match early so he doesn't take too much damage. Braun Strowman marches down the ramp, but the ref catches this, and he's trying to block Strowman from entering. But this split second distraction is all that was needed. Matt, he jumps for a crossbody, but Reed catches him midair, leveling him with a big forearm to the jaw, climbs up to the top rope, hits a big tsunami splash onto Matt Hardy for the 3 count. But Adam Pearce, he emerges on the stage with a microphone, and he's trembling with rage. He is heated here. "Enough! I am sick and tired of the NWO hiding behind numbers and cheating to beat down this roster. You want to play God? I'm the one who signs the checks here. Next week, the NWO is in the line of fire. It's going to be Adam Copeland and Macho Man against the NWO, Bronson Reed, and Braun Strowman, and the Hardys. Oh, Matt, Jeff, you're getting your hands on them too in a tag match." We go to a commercial break, and soon a yin-yang symbol pops up on the Tron. One of a kind, Rob Van Dam. He enters with a smug look on his face. He's clearly agitated here. He gets into the ring and grabs a mic. "I'm the whole effing show, right? Then why am I losing to a street thug, jobber like Eddie Kingston? It's a conspiracy. Management is picking favorites, and they're so scared of what I'll do tonight that they haven't even named my opponent. Whoever it is, they're just another speed bump." The lights cut to pitch black here, cutting off RVD. A spotlight hits the stage. And then a theme song plays. "It's time! It's time! It's Vader time!" RVD he's shaking here as Big Van Vader makes his return. So the bell rings and the match is underway. RVD, he's trying to use kicks and his speed against Vader, but Vader doesn't blink here. Vader catches a spinning heel kick and turns it into a German suplex that folds RVD in half. Eventually, RVD is able to get some momentum and knock down Vader. He's going for a desperate 5-star frog splash. He jumps off the top rope, and he's able to connect. He pins Vader 1 count, and he kicks out, roaring in RVD's face. The crowd is going wild. Vader, he grabs RVD, Irish whips him into the corner. Big Vader crushing splash, smashing RVD. This is followed up by a power bomb, and Vader gets the pinfall victory here, staining over a beaten down RVD. On to segment 5. The lights are dark. The gong hits. Smoke fills the arena. Fog. And out comes Aleister Black, Brody King, and The Undertaker. And they make their way out slowly, methodically, and get into the ring. Undertaker, he gets a microphone here, and he speaks about that the House of Darkness is now staking their claim upon the Reckoning roster, and all who enter will receive no mercy. After Undertaker is done giving his speech, the tag champs, Penta and Rey Mysterio, they come out on the entrance ramp. Penta goes on to say, "You talk about darkness? We grew up in the shadows of the temples. You think you're scary? Look into my eyes. Zero miedo." You got inside the heads of the Young Bucks because they're nothing but boys. We are men. We are the champions. If you want these titles, step up or get out of our ring. Penta, he does his zero miedo hand sign towards the direction of the ring in the House of Darkness. They slowly back into the mist and vanish from sight. On to segment 6. Hulk Hogan, he's in a hallway backstage, actually, with the World Heavyweight Championship draped over his shoulder, and Braun Strowman or Bronson Reed are with him. And they're laughing at the Lucha Bros promo as they're watching a big monitor. "Those guys are just masks and mirrors, brother. They wouldn't last 5 minutes with the NWO. All of a sudden, a door comes smashing open to the hallway, and Vader walks in. The laughter, it dies immediately. Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, they step up. But Vader, he's not moving here. He stares directly at Hogan. He goes on to say, "I wasn't in the tournament, Hulk. And that was a mistake. Now I'm making sure everyone knows who the real monster is. And I'm coming for your gold." Vader, he exits. And Hogan, he looks angry and kind of panicked as well. Adam Pearce is passing by, and Hogan, he grabs onto the jacket of Adam Pearce. "You see that? That's a workplace hazard. Do something." And Pearce, he smacks away the hand of Hogan. Like, "Get off me." He says, "I am. Next week, to see who is truly worthy of a title shot, there's going to be a triple threat. That man that you have issues with right there, Vader, will be taking on Triple H and Kevin Owens. And the winner of that match gets to face you at Rite of Passage." Adam Pearce leaves the area, and Hogan, he's just shaking his head. Ticked off. On to segment 7. We have a tag team match here. The Acclaimed is taking on Rhythm and Blues, Honky Tonk Man and Greg the Hammer Valentine. Max Caster, his rap and his diss is legendary during his entrance, and he's calling Greg the Hammer Valentine slow and outdated, just totally dissing and breaking them down verbally. In this match, it's pretty much classic tag team action. And eventually Honky Tonk Man tries to use some underhanded tactics and uses guitar, but Anthony Bowens hits him with a super kick that sends the guitar flying off into the crowd. Eventually for the finish, the Acclaimed hit their signature elbow drop sequence, ending with Max Caster hitting the mic drop on Greg the Hammer Valentine for a win. On to segment 8, we have a backstage promo. Kingston, he's just in a backstage area, production crates and things around him. He goes on to say, "Robbie, RVG, calling me a jobber? I've spent years in the dirt while you were getting pampered. You want to see what a jobber looks like when he's had enough? Next week, kid, you and me, no rules, no flips, just a fight. I'm gonna beat the respect into you." On to our main event of the evening. Falls Count Anywhere match between Diamond Dallas Page and a big red machine, Kane. DDP, he comes out. He's wearing jeans, and he's got his vest on. He holds up his hands, bang, and some pyro goes off. Some fireworks. Then enters Kane, but instead of his outfit being primarily red and black, it's more black with accents of red here. His full mask, his wetted hair hanging down in his face. He's looking like a demon. like he's possessed. Both men are in the ring. The bell sounds. And this is pure chaos. And within a couple minutes, the brawl enters the crowd. DDP, he uses fans. DDP signs to whack Kane, hitting a diamond cutter onto the concrete floor. 1, 2, kick out by Kane. Trash cans are picked up and used. Trash is flying everywhere. They take turns changing momentum back and forth until eventually they're fighting onto the staging area. And Kane, he's trying to chokeslam DDP off the entrance stage. DDP counters and hits a diamond cutter through a table. The crowd is unglued. They're cheering, DDP, DDP, DDP. So eventually, DDP, he's looking really shrunk here at the moment. He drags Kane towards a stack of equipment crates, looking to end this match. All of a sudden, Kane sits up out of nowhere, grabbing DDP by the throat. He hoists him up and delivers a big choke slam through a massive pile of crates and electronics. Sparks are flying. Smoke is everywhere. You can almost smell the scent of burnt hair. And before Kane is even able to cover DDP, the ref calls off the match and gives Kane the victory here. Kane raises his arms in the air, throws them down. Fire shoots up at the entrance stage, and that is the end of this episode of Reckoning. So, next week, our main event world titles #1 contender match, Vader, Triple H, and Kevin Owens. We will see Eddie Kingston going against RVD once more. Copeland and Macho Man will be taking on Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed of the NWO. All this and much more next week. So be sure to tune in. And we are building towards our Rite of Passage pay-per-view. So far, no matches have really been announced. Besides Seth Rollins defending his championship, the Vanguard title, against Damian Priest. The Rite of Passage pay-per-view will take place on Saturday, May 2nd. And just like this episode and every other, it will be free to listen to or watch on YouTube. I hope you all are enjoying this fantasy booking series. And I'm Jacob, signing off. You all have a good one.